Dear students, greetings for the day. Today we will study about ground support. In aviation, the term ground support refers to the wide range of services provided to facilitate an aircraft flight or aircraft ground repositioning, preparation for and upon conclusion of a flight, which will include both customer service and ramp service functions. Aircraft ground handling is an aviation industry term that refers to the variety of services performed on an aircraft while it is still on the ground at a terminal gate at an airport. These services include cabin service, ensure passenger comfort, clean cabins, replenish on-board consumables, catering, unloading unused food and beverages, reloading fresh food and beverages for both passengers and crew. Ramp service. This includes a variety of services on the ramp or apron, including aircraft marshalling, towing, lavatory drainage, luggage handling, hydraulic mules, etc. Passenger service. Field operations service. Ground handling services may be provided by airline employees or by third-party contractors. A large airline may still use its own employees for virtually all ground handling functions at its main base, with the possible exceptions of refueling and catering if this is judged to be cost-effective. At outstations where there are fewer company flights, more services will be subcontracted and the number of company-employed personnel will frequently be minimal, potentially reduced to limited engineering cover or to a single, part-time company representative. Nowadays, many airlines subcontract to majority of their ground handling services. General aviation flights will usually use an airport fixed base operator, FBO, for their ground handling requirements. Customer service functions include ticketing. Although most passengers will arrive at the airport with tickets in hand, there are provisions at most terminals for on-the-spot purchase. Check-in. Electronic check-in kiosks have become prevalent in most major airports. However, there will still be customer service agents to assist passengers with the check-in process, to verify documentation, to tag and process their checked baggage, and to ensure that cabin baggage conforms to regulated size, weight and content. Oversized baggage. Provisions will be available, usually at a secondary location, for the acceptance of oversized or very heavy baggage items. Baggage sorting. Bags will be electronically or manually sorted by flight and either loaded into unit load devices, ULD, or placed on baggage trolleys in preparation for aircraft loading. Lobby management. Passenger service agents will ensure that the appropriate number of check-in desks are available, staffed and have the appropriate identification signage, as well as directing and controlling the flow of passengers in an orderly and efficient manner. Irregular operations. Customer service agents will be available to accommodate irregular operations requirements, such as rebooking passengers who have missed connections or providing meal and accommodation vouchers, or alternate transportation arrangements, in the event of delay or cancellation of flights. Special needs handling. Customer service agents will make arrangements for wheelchairs or other transport to the departure gate for mobility impaired passengers and will process, safeguard and supervise any unaccompanied minors, from check-in to aircraft boarding and from aircraft deplaning to release to a parent or other authorized person. Gate assignment. In coordination with the airport authority, aircraft gates will be assigned and the gate information relayed to the passengers. Lounge management. Where available, business and first-class lounges, available to qualified passengers, will be staffed and provisioned. Aircraft boarding. Ground agents will make appropriate boarding announcements, conduct final passenger screening and document verification, and provide a final passenger manifest and customs documentation to the aircraft crew. If passengers must be bused to the aircraft or otherwise be compelled to walk on the ramp, ground agents will ensure passenger safety whilst on the ramp. Aircraft disembarkation. Ground staff will receive any inbound customs paperwork and accept arriving passengers at the aircraft and facilitate their transfer to the terminal building, dealing as necessary with issues arising from inbound delay or cancellation of connecting flights. Chocking and connection/disconnection of ground services. Once the aircraft is on stand, wheel chocks will be inserted and external services such as passenger bridges or boarding stairs, ground electrical service and ground air conditioning units will be positioned or connected as required. As the departure time approaches, these items will be disconnected and removed as directed by the flight crew. Marshalling. The marshalling process at some aerodromes starts as the aircraft approaches the apron with the provision of a follow-me vehicle to guide the aircraft to its assigned parking stand. As the aircraft approaches the stand, the vehicle relinquishes aircraft guidance to either electronic stand entry guidance systems or ground personnel to direct the aircraft to its final parked position. In many cases, wing walkers will work in conjunction with the marshaller or guidance system by controlling ramp traffic and to helping to mitigate any wingtip clearance hazard. On departure, a marshaller will assist in engine start, confirming that the area around the engine is clear of hazards and watching for indications of an engine fire. Baggage and freight handling. Baggage and freight on the inbound aircraft will be offloaded using whatever specialized equipment necessary, such as baggage belts, split loaders and fork trucks, and the outbound bags and freight will be loaded on the aircraft. Care must be taken to ensure that loading of aircraft with cargo is accomplished in accordance with the load planner's loading instructions and that dangerous goods are correctly handled. Aircraft towing. Movement of an aircraft to or from a maintenance facility, a remote parking stand or from one gate to another will be accomplished on an as-required basis. Refueling. Aircraft will be refueled to the requirements of the outbound flight as specified by the pilot in command or, in his absence, by the dispatcher. Specific protocols are in place in the event that refueling is to be accomplished with passengers remaining on board. Aircraft cleaning. The cabin, lavatories and galley counter surfaces will be cleaned. Garbage containers will be emptied and the contents removed from the aircraft. Toilets will be restocked. Passenger comfort items such as pillows and blankets will be replaced as required and, where applicable, newspapers will be brought on board. Provision of documents. Prior to departure, the flight crew will be provided with the appropriate documentation inclusive of a fuel uplift receipt, the completed aircraft load and trim form or, if the crew completes their own load and trim, the certified loading instruction form, lifee, freight manifests and the appropriate notifications for any dangerous goods. High pressure air. In some circumstances, such as in the case of an unserviceable auxiliary power unit (APU), a high-pressure air cart may be required to start at least one of the aircraft engines. Catering. The catering trolleys and oven inserts from the inbound flight will be removed and the catering for the outbound flight boarded. Galley and bar stock will be replenished. Pushback. Where required, ground equipment will be utilized to move the aircraft off stand at departure. De-icing. When required, either or both aircraft ground anti-icing and engine core and fan anti-icing will be carried out. Engine core de-icing is most often accomplished at the parking position, whereas aircraft de-icing may be done either in city or at a remote facility. Whilst the aircraft is on the ground, engineers will also perform routine inspections, rectify minor maintenance issues and make the appropriate entries in the aircraft technical log. Flight crews will perform a pre-flight inspection of the aircraft in preparation for flight.